this episode of Woodland World, I shall take you hundreds of miles away. As we move further north, the landscape begins to change from deciduous forest to coniferous forest. And eventually, we enter a bay. Now, we are in a distant land, or I guess sea, home to giant marine mammals, beautiful seabirds, strange sea creatures, and on land, there are alien-looking plants. This is Down East, Maine. Our journey begins along Penobscot Bay. This is an American crow, nothing that unusual, especially considering that they can be found almost anywhere across the United States and a lot of Canada. To see something interesting, we need to get through this forest first, and there's a creek running through it. It is interesting that up here in Maine, there are a lot of creeks that directly empty into a bay or the ocean. On the rocky beach, there is some weird yellow lichen growing. In the water is a snail, a periwinkle, a common periwinkle, which is actually non-native. They were introduced here from the coasts of Western Europe to be eaten. And they probably have a negative effect on the ecosystem because there are native periwinkles which they may compete with. In the bay, there are larger animals like this harbor seal. There is also a common eider duck, and it has a baby. These ducks live in northern waters in North America, Europe, and Northeast Asia. And here is a common loon with its summer plumage. Further inland, there are coniferous forests and natural lakes. In this forest, there are interesting plants growing on the ground like this bunchberry, which is closely related to dogwoods. Nearby, there are some wild blueberries. This looks like a weird plant, but it is actually a lichen called a lungwort. This tree is a northern white cedar. Up here, there are also lichens that grow on tree branches. Blue-bead lilies can be found growing on the forest floor, along with many mushroom species. Here is a primitive plant called a liverwort. There are also mosses, baby cedar trees, and a fleabane which is getting pollinated by a fly. Now, we are on an island in the edge of the United States called Moose Island. The ground is covered in barnacles, which are crustaceans. There is also a whole lot of seaweed, with common periwinkles hiding in it. This is a three-line mud snail. In the water, there is a school of baby herring. Herring are a popular fish to eat, and there are about 200 species of them in the world. This is an invasive species called a European green crab. They were first introduced in ports in New York and New Jersey in the 1800s, but over the years they have creeped their way all the way up here. This pile of rocks is covered in seagulls. This skull is a Bonaparte skull. We'll talk more about them later. But right here is a bird called a black guillemot. Further out are some strange seabirds called razorbills. They are the closest living relatives of the extinct flightless great auk, which was basically like the penguin of the Arctic. Razorbills are native to the coasts of northeastern North America, Greenland, Iceland, and Western Europe. Black guillemots are actually in the same family as razorbills, which is known as the auk family. On a tree is an American red squirrel. Up here, they are a lot more common than gray squirrels are. Apparently, this group of Bonaparte skulls is lost because they should not be in Maine at this time of year. They should be breeding in Western Canada or Alaska right now. Here is a female and male double-crested cormorant, and they do breed in this region. A common tern is standing to the left of a Bonaparte skull. These cormorants are predators and eat fish along with other marine creatures. This one caught a weird kind of fish called a sculpin. Good luck getting that down because they're mostly head with little meat and they have spikes all over them. It looks like he finally gave up. The Bonaparte skull was named after Charles Bonaparte, an American who studied birds, who was actually a cousin of Napoleon Bonaparte, the guy who tried to take over the world. Black guillemots have a similar range to the razorbill. The main difference is they can also be found in the northern coasts of Asia and Alaska. They may not be called Bonaparte skulls for much longer because they don't want any birds named after people. Also, they are the only gull species that regularly nests in trees. As you can imagine, since razorbills are a northern bird, the warming climate will really affect them. If it warms up by 3 degrees, they will lose 76% of their summer range in North America. Black guillemots eat mostly small fish, which they catch by diving. They can be underwater for more than 2 minutes. When they dive, they steer with their feet and propel themselves with their wings. These birds tend to eat more fish in the southern part of their range and more crustaceans in the northern part of their range. Black guillemots breed in colonies on rocky cliffs and islands in North America as far south as Maine and in Europe as far south as Ireland. Would you look at that? A cormorant actually caught something that fits in their mouth. Right here is a baby razorbill. Meanwhile, on land, there is a meadow full of vetch flowers, probably an invasive kind, but anyway, there are interesting looking bumblebees on them. There are some more wildflowers, all of which are native. This is a meadowsweet species, and on it is a species of beetle in this genus, and there are 2 of them mating. Back at the coast, there are some birds like this great blue heron and this lesser yellowlegs. These birds can be found just about all over South America and North America, and if you want to see more yellowlegs, then watch this video. Speaking of videos, thank you for watching this one to the end, and I hope you enjoyed it. Also, have a great day.